Rich Lux here. Today we're going to be looking at this video that's gone viral called "The Moment She Realized She Killed Two People." It has just about 7 million views in the last 8 days. That's 1 million views a day almost. And this video caught my attention, and it's from the channel. I'm going to shout them out in just a moment. Let's play the video and get right into it.
Gotten for this family.
It's called MN Crime. It's the name of the channel. And this, I think, is actually one of their most popular videos that they just posted. So in this video, I've been told by you guys to react to it. It's made such an impact on the community on YouTube. And videos like this that go viral that quickly, there's no room for error. And again, shout out to the channel uploader, MN Crime. Apparently they just upload body cam footage, give some commentary. And I wanted to watch this. You guys know I have the power of discernment. And I'm going to react to it. But this is just not just regular cam footage. This is an edited video by them, MN. And edited very well, I was told. But we also see the beginning, the trial, the ending, the aftermath. And we start seeing lies. That certain people are lying in this video. And it's so interesting to see someone lie and then later on get caught for it. And there's a pattern of behavior that we're going to be looking at too, that there was a lot of shady stuff that went on in this video. I believe, in my opinion, people were paid off. I believe that the justice system was not in favor of those who were harmed. Ultimately, people were saying that this is a tough case. I don't believe so. From what I hear, it's drag racers who caused 2 people to pass away. That's, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Those people who were in the drag racing that caused 2 people to pass away should be behind bars. One of them is a minor. However, if you look at the pattern of behavior, that minor had a very, 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 very long rap sheet just days before they were turning of age, which was left out in court. We will be talking about this and watching this. Let's begin. This is Easter Sunday. This is Easter morning, 2021. Here we go.
We weren't getting a pulse on it.
Now, mind you, I'm reporting this in 2024, so we're going back in time and look at the devastation. We aren't getting a pulse on. This is bad. Here we go.
We've been tracking this case for the last 2.5 years. After dozens of open records requests and the hiring of an attorney, we finally obtained the records related to this tragic incident and go in depth on the story behind it.
This channel, MN, if they continue to do videos like this, they could be the #1 YouTube channel on here. Because they put in the work. Hiring an attorney to get documents so they can view them, cross-examine them, and find out what really happened. Even in the comment section of this video, a family member commented. Look, right here. Hello, everyone. Dalton, the man in this accident, is my little brother. My family would greatly appreciate if you spread the word about this injustice being done in the state of Minnesota. Well, Dylan, we're spreading the word today. We can't do much to change our circumstances with the law, but we can affect change for future families. Let me give it a like. There you go. Okay, so let's begin here.
911 calls detail the seriousness behind what took place.
April 4, 2021, 10:32:35.
Please confirm with the address of your emergency.
Yes, there's been a severe car accident on
Where?
Highway 42.
What's the cross
County
street?
Road 42. What's the cross?
Bubble Bar.
Bubble Bar.
County Road 5.
County Road 5.
Okay, how many vehicles?
Happened. Two vehicles.
Is anybody
Very
injured?
bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of injuries?
We don't know. We're driving past it.
But that's completely total. It looks like it's going to start on fire. Okay, are you there anymore?
No, we've driven by.
Okay, they.
So obviously somebody, a passerby, saw the wreck, called 911. There's 2 people in that car. there's a woman who's just answering for the man. At this point, I already know the sound in her voice means it was devastating to see. When you have people talking over each other to a dispatcher like this, you know it's cause for concern.
They've been on the way this entire time. This is just getting more information for them for when they arrive, okay? Like I said, we have a lot of help on the way. Thank you for calling.
Yep, thank you.
10:32:39.
911, is this a life or death emergency? Yes, it is. There's a car crash on 42, like right by the gas station. 42, hold on.
Again, these are witnesses calling in back to back to back to back. Frantic. And what frustrates me is that if we would speak more calmly, more could get done. But in this situation, when you have civilians calling in and they're just, it's on fire, it's on fire, oh my God, people are running around on fire, and you got other people in the background talking, it's hard for the dispatcher to hear what's going on.
42 and 1. I don't know. Whatever's by the bubble bar. The red car was turning like by the tell me what happened. Accident or I can't understand. A car crash. Yes, a car crash. Is anyone injured? Yes. Okay, is it blocking traffic? I need someone to talk to me. The car's on fire. There's one car on fire. A car's on fire from it? Which car's on fire? The white car. The Chrysler car's on fire. Okay, do you see flames or just smoke? Yes, there's flames and smoke. Okay, is anyone in the vehicle that's on fire? No, not in the vehicle, but the car and the SUV, there's somebody that is not conscious. Just stand along with me. I have lots of help on the way. Are you involved or are you just passerby? No, I'm a passerby, but my friend's brother and sister were in the car that just got hit.
Court testimony held at a later date details the moments before officers arrived. After witnessing a horrific crash, witnesses say they approached the white vehicle and found one passenger to be severely injured, but alive. Bystanders pulled her out of the car while it was on fire, likely saving her life. She would...
You see, when this is being told to me on this video, I'm visioning this. I'm visioning a white car. I'm visioning it on fire. I'm visioning a woman there talking, right? Here we go. Here's a statement. I saved her life. The flames were just extremely high. So this guy and I grabbed her. Ankle was twisted like in 180. We moved her over.
Have been able to do this on her own due to her injuries, which included a broken ankle, broken backbones, and 2 broken ribs. She also suffered from a deep laceration caused by the seatbelt into her stomach, exposing her intestines underneath her shirt.
Let me tell you, I've been in a wreck before. When that seatbelt locks onto you, it can cause bruising. I remember that. The next day, I was like, why do I have a bruise here? It was from the seatbelt. That seatbelt, it was so tight, what he just said, her guts came out. The driver of the same vehicle was able to get out on his own and sustain minor injuries. We'll talk more about him later on because I have a lot to say about that one.
Of that same vehicle was able to get out on his own and sustained minor injuries. As officers arrive, they witness the injured passenger on the ground and recognize that civilians have stepped up to help. Their next priority is to check on the occupants of the red vehicle. The damage is plainly obvious, as the red vehicle was struck with such a force that it was ripped into 2 pieces.
Already approaching this, it's a lot going on. You're going to have a lot of people who are just had nothing to do with it, didn't even see it happen, but they're filming. And then you have these groups of pockets of people who help, people who were involved. You have to, as a police officer, immediately start gathering information upon arrival, like who was driving. Were you a passenger? What are you doing here? Oh, you're the so-and-so. They called you to come over. Okay, you have nothing to do with this mentally. But then you're also hearing side conversations. They don't think they're being recorded, but all these police officers have body cameras. So you're saying things You're not even in a courtroom, but you're saying things and it's being held against you here. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Is everyone out? You think everyone's out?
To stand that close to that car on fire is so dangerous. And there's people just there. That's what, I'm already frustrated. Like, get away. If you don't have anything involved in this, move out of the way. Move out of danger. Okay, don't go to your car for your cell phone or your bag. Girl, get away. You're putting yourself in danger. But in that moment, this is what people do.
I didn't feel a pulse though. Okay.
I'm too concerned about that.
Is there still a person in here? Two in here. Yeah, the driver and one in the back seat.
Oh my God, there's 2 people in that red car. Right there. I'ma kill that, and I already know what you said, I'ma kill that B word. So you have 2 people who are in this red car on fire, pinned. And listen, I keep it real. It would, if I saw that, I would just automatically assume they're gone. By the grace of God, they would be alive. But I'm a realist. If I saw that, they're gone. I don't even need to ask if they're okay. I presume the worst, that they're gone. So if I was in that white car and this happened to that red car, I would not yell, I'm going to kill that B word. I'm already assuming they're passed away. So why would I even say that? That right there, to be in a major accident like this and still be so vindictive and say, I'm going to kill that B word, that's the devil. Hands down. Why are you saying I'm going to kill that B word when it's obviously they're already passed away in that car? That speaks volumes on that person's character.
45, 120.
And it's the ones that scream the loudest, that are barking the loudest, are the ones who did it. It's like that person that's like, who ate the candy canes off the Christmas tree? And it'd be that one person. Yeah, who did eat the candy canes off the tree? That's the one who did it.
86. We've got 2 trapped inside of a vehicle that'll need to be pried out. I don't know if they've got either the 2 of them.
And to further add, a situation like this, there's going to be a lot of chaos and confusion, but there's also going to be a lot of like just adrenaline. So screaming and hollering, I think it'd be expected. But what this person is, I can still hear them as this video is going on. That is another level. This narcissism is placing blame, pointing fingers. I wish this person was dead. If they're dead, if they're not dead, I'm going to kill them. All that stuff like that. What is this behavior?
Okay, I understand your concern. Yeah, I'll just have you wait back here. Thank you. You're not getting a pulse on the back seat. These people aren't coming out of this vehicle, right? No, am I seeing that right? Okay. Yep. All right. I appreciate your assistance. Thank you. I'm a phone man. Oh, you are? All right.
Oh my God, I'm gonna effing kill someone. Oh my God, the dramatics. Really? Not, is this person okay? Oh my God, they're okay. You're yelling this?
All right, and we know that nobody's in this one?
And you know what, though? I hope we find out who this person is, because I'm pretty sure we are. As soon as that person's yapping and yapping, I'll be off to the side. Hey, this person over here, their name is so-and-so and so. Can you run their background? Have they got any tickets in the past 10 years? Have they been in any trouble with the law the past 10 years? Can I see that report? Okay. Oh, okay. Pattern of behavior here. Just watch. Officer secures vehicle that is on fire.
Everybody out? Okay, we're clear here. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to maintain some kind of a perimeter here.
It's better. And let me just say this. I know it's easy for me to sit here and pass judgment because I'm in a calm, tranquil space. But in situations like this, that's not the case. You know, you have a lot of things coming at you. You have fire and smoke and people yelling, and there's a lot of chaos and confusions going on. And you have to decipher in that moment who is really telling the truth based on body language, verbiage, mannerisms. Prior histories should be pulled. I almost wish that police officers had some type of goggles. When they look at somebody, they can just, it automatically pulls up their rap sheet so you can already know what they're, you know, this person's trouble. Right there, tire marks of vehicles, debris, they better effing be dead. What?
Who's in the car?
Oh my God, here we go. I can already, in this circle right here, I can already tell it's gonna be a lot of mess. She was in the car. I'll give you that later. Yelling and oh, here we go.
Please get me to the hospital now. I will give it to you. I will give it to you all right now. Just get me to the hospital now. She's accused her here and on her neck.
Well, did you see what happened, or you just hear videoing?
I just saw this and I came over.
Okay, so you did see it happen, or you didn't?
No, I didn't see the accident.
Okay.
Get away.
All right.
Go over there.
Right behind you. Is there anything I can do to help?
And that's just the annoying part. Did you see it happen? Did you see it happen? Did you see it happen? No. Okay, F off.
Get this person out. Check a pulse on that? We weren't getting a pulse on these people. Are you in the car?
Were you in a car?
Were you in the car?
You weren't in the car, but were you in a car? Who were you in the car? The passenger or the driver?
Yes, please. See if we can get an ID on these two passengers.
This is her sister. She wasn't in the car. Her sister was in the car.
Officers gathered information and got most of the story put together.
I don't know. This person here, they're crying, hunched over, making all this noise. I don't see any tears. It looks fake. It looks performative to me. The individuals in the red car, Dalton and Taylor, were struck.
Individuals in the red car, Dalton and Taylor, were struck by the white car, driven by Leon Bond III with his twin sister, Sienna, in the front passenger seat. Their older sister, Camille Lachey Dennis Bond, was...
The one making all the noise. So the red car, again, this is Easter Sunday morning. Those people in the red car that was on fire, they're gone. They're gone. These two, the white car, that was also on fire. I saw that too. But this person right here in the white has no concern, hooping and hollering for the white car, but no concern for the red car and saying, I'm going to go kill them. That is just mind-blowing. That right there, that's her. That's the one that was all that yelling. She needs to be investigated.
Alongside them in a separate and seemingly uninvolved black vehicle with her best friend in the passenger seat, Lynn. Lynn
was the one to make the 911 call at the beginning of the video. I can already piece it together. So you got the black car and the white car. It's a group of friends. The white car struck the red car, which caused the accident. But it's like there's no remorse from the white car people. This black car person over here, the black car and the people in the black car are doing all this yelling and stuff. Something's not adding up already.
To make the 911 call at the beginning of this video. After the crash, Camille stopped down the street in the middle of the road and ran towards the accident on foot. According to court testimony, Camille got out of the car so fast she forgot to put the car in park, but Lynn noticed and did it for her from the passenger seat. Officers quickly realized this may be a criminal.
That right there shows, yeah, I understand you were anxious and nervous and cared and you were scared, but to not put the car fully in park, already to me, unexperienced driver. Where is your head at that you see this wreck happen and you are going to just not even put the car in park? That the person next to you has to come over and do it for you. Reckless, because you could have caused even more accidents.
Investigation involving multiple fatalities and that extreme speeds were likely involved. Accordingly, they quickly identify Camille as a key person of interest. Officers will eventually obtain video evidence of the crash itself to further support Camille's involvement. We will go over that footage later in this video.
And I'm going to say this, to see a red car like that on flames, the way how bunched up it was, and the white car, and you can cancel me if you want in the comments, but like, to see that, that's not done at little 25 mile, 30 mile an hour. To get a car to bend like that, and that plastic and metal and glass to break and bend, and you got to be going a lot faster than 30, 40 miles an hour. Something had to hit you at a force speed to cause that much damage. You know, every time you get in an accident, they say, did the airbags deploy? Because that alone says that there was enough force to cause it. Then you have fire and smoke. So obviously, just looking at it, somebody was speeding. Either her and her friend, or all three, or all two the vehicles. But we'll find out more in a minute. But just by looking, I can already tell that there was somebody was speeding that caused an accident.
Oh.
Ma'am, can't go over there right now. We got a car on fire. It's not safe.
Where are you going? In the red. Where are you going? Walking around trying to get the tea? What are you doing? Why did they hit your...
Here, Camille is immediately placing blame on the other driver. She doesn't hesitate to use profanities towards Taylor, who she incorrectly believes was driving the red car.
Okay.
I mean, of course she's going to incorrectly blame the wrong person. She couldn't even put the car in park before getting out. She don't even know what was going on. She's blaming people without even knowing.
It's going to be 2 1072s.
Officers unfortunately discover the two individuals in the red car, Dalton Lee Ford and Taylor Nicole Garza, have been killed in the crash. The couple was 22 years old. They had plans to celebrate Easter with their families that morning.
There you go. That's the red car people. So sad. 22 years old. Oh. Imagine that. 22 years old. Easter Sunday. Driving to go see family and friends. And you get struck by a car like that. That's what I'm saying. I always tell people, be careful when driving. Let me know when you make it home. And they're, oh, I'm a good driver. I'm not worried about you. It's the other people around you that be causing the accidents. This is so sad. This is so sad. Hold on. I'm going to just... I can't believe that. Hold on. Here we go. Officers unfortunately discovered the two individuals in the red car, Dalton Lee Ford and Taylor Nicole Garza, have been killed in the crash.
Nicole Garza have been killed in the crash. The couple was 22 years old. They had plans to celebrate Easter with their families that morning.
People are out taking pictures. All the disrespect. And I asked all of them, did you see what happened? Or you just heard a video? Yeah. Doing their commentary and
Witnesses over here. Okay. So we'll need to start talking to them. Okay.
Officers begin questioning witnesses to hopefully figure out exactly what happened.
Oh my gosh, she's still going about it. Yeah, we were both going. Have them meet you down at, I don't know what that is. Wait right here. She's on the phone calling people to come over. That was a driver of the white car in the little ambulance, unscathed. And even that guy, the guy that was in the hospital bed, getting the ambulance. Are they okay? What happened to the red car people? No remorse. Then you got this other woman in the white shirt just hollering and hooping around, talking about I'm gonna beat them up. But who should have been you? You as in going in the ambulance, or you as in the fiery car with the people that died? Because if it should have been me, that guy's perfectly fine. He's in the journey. He's had a cell phone. He's hanging around. He's just looking around. I can already tell he was okay. Maybe a little scratch, a little bump here and there, but he's fine. And so you hooper and hollering over that? Right. What do you mean it's very close to hitting you too? Were you in? Was a black car and the white car racing? And you hit the red car that caused those two people to pass away? Is that what happened? Because right there said everything to me. You were so close. It could have been you.
Here, but her car is up there. Is she dead? Is she dead? That's all I need to know.
I have no idea.
Well, she better be. If she's not, I'm stomping on the head.
If she's dead. If she's not, I'm stomping on that B word's head. Meanwhile, the girl wasn't even the one driving. The guy was. But she said it with such conviction, like she knows.
I'm going to my car.
Bobby, wait here for a second.
No.
I don't think you're able to.
Yes, I am. I'm fine.
No, I don't think
I'm
you're
going
able
to my sister. I'm going to my Camille, she left. Camille, she left.
She's gone. Yeah, that's done.
My car is fine, though. That's what I'm saying. It's fine. I'm not moving it. I can leave my phone and my shit.
I don't know. This woman's mannerisms off to me. It's just off. It's like you're at a over a 10. For what reason? You're okay. You're fine. Your friends are alive. They went to go get checked out at the hospital. You're saying you're gonna beat somebody up that's already passed away and dead. You're worried about your phone. You're worried about everybody else but yourself.
Stay right here, please. Hi, I'm Matt.
Look at my baby. Is she dead?
Your sister?
No, that.
I don't know. I'm very sorry I can't give that information. We just want you to be safe right now.
I'm fine. I just want my stuff. I'm not going anywhere.
This must be really hard.
Yeah. I didn't get my phone.
Your alarm might be locked, so we can't.
It's not. My keys are in the car. It's not gonna lock.
Okay. Where's your phone?
It's in the car. It's connected to the. It's connected to a white plug. I have to get it. My mom's gonna call me.
I think he has it. It's with your shoe.
Yeah.
I see it in his hand.
Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. But the president hit him. They said he tried to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because he tried to.
Easy. You bring it. You're the auntie? Okay. All right. Fill it right over there. Going to Richmond. They're both. The passengers in the white car are okay. I don't know yet. Let's get you off the street.
I mean,
Everybody to go on the other side of the road.
the auntie's response, my baby's okay. What about the other people? Those are all normal questions to ask, right? Why was she brought here, the auntie? Why wasn't the aunt, hey, so-and-so got in a wreck, they're at this hospital. Go there to see, check out what, the auntie being here, I might, just because I don't know everything. Looking in, it serves no purpose. You're wasting time being here. If somebody called me and say so-and-so got in a wreck, what hospital are they at? I'm going to go over there and see them. Me going to the scene of the crime, walking around, trying to get I'm just getting in the way. I'll meet you at the hospital.
We'll get it taken care of.
I gotta go get my truck over there. Sterling, you stay with me.
Let me walk with you.
Okay.
All right, guys. Do you
Are
have a
both of them going to Hennepin County Medical Center?
They're either going to Hennepin or Richmond. Richmond's closer.
Well, I was told that Tiana's going to Richmond Medical because this is both her children.
So then they're going to Ridgeview, which is in Burnsville.
They're going to the Ridgeview Hospital that's in Burnsville. That's the one in Burnsville. I hope that she's dead because she
It's quite like that.
Can you talk to her? Because she just said that they just passed that hospital. She did. She tried to do it.
Can you talk to her? Because she just said that they just passed that hospital. Both ambulances went up to County Minneapolis. Okay. There's a woman in a white shirt on the phone. There's, I believe, an EMT or police officer talking, and then you have this woman still yelling around, placing blame.
They went to County in Minneapolis.
They both went to county.
And honestly, if I can just speak freely here, you really don't have to sit here and say too much. There are trained police officers and people who can look at tire marks, vehicle damage, and can piece it together what happened. They just need to know a few details. So her doing all this and placing blame and this and that, it did her no favors.
She tried to be still.
Move to the
And then she tried to go around. I don't know why they took her over there. I don't know. It's fine, but she only has a big cut right here. Her knee's gonna come out of it. From your side, it was
We're still, we have to wait for the medical examiner to get here before we can touch any of the cars. You could expedite, we're going to go 10-15 with this thing out. Can I have you first name?
Camille.
Okay, Camille, here's what's going to happen is we're going to be placing you under arrest
Why?
for criminal vehicular operation.
How?
Well, you were racing your brother.
No, I was not.
Boom. 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 And then guess what? She denied. No, I was not. Why am I being arrested? The police officer said, you're racing your brother. They got witnesses on the phone calls. video cameras, I'm sure, somewhere around some of these buildings, I would hope. Here we go.
So here's what we're gonna do. We have to.
Right here, in this part right here, I'm already pulling up. As an officer, I want this woman's background, where she went to school, any juvenile problems, any priors, felonies, any probation, any tickets. I want to see it all. I want to see even notes. I want to see the notes of how she behaved. Was she angry all the time? And all those other instances. Even the smallest occurrence of her getting pulled over. Was she rude? I want to see all that real quick. And I can pass a better judgment.
All of our phones and that type of stuff. So, like I said, we can go two ways. If we have to put you in handcuffs, we're going to take you back to our station to talk to you.
Nobody was racing. We were going 60.
Right there. All she had to say, the cop just said, we can do it two ways. We put you in handcuffs and take you to the station, or we can just take you to the station and talk to you. That just went right over her head. Because now she's saying, we're going this and we're going, all this conversation that she's doing out here in the street could be done at the police station. She's not cooperating. She's not. Because a normal person would be like, what are my options? Put me in handcuffs, take me to the station, talk to me? Or you'll just want me to get in the back of the car and we'll talk to me? Okay. And right there, she could have said, am I being detained? Let me get a lawyer. Things of that nature. But the police already know. And here she is. She's doing too much talking. We were going 65. Here we go. Speed limit is 50. You lied again.
I understand that.
No.
Okay, so you think you're going 65?
We weren't even going that fast, and I watched it. That's the thing. I watched it,
Okay.
and he was even behind me.
So who's wheeled out at the intersection there? Do you
What
know?
was that?
Who's wheeled out back at that intersection way down there? Did
That
you have a
was-
witness that said that somebody
No,
had smoke
we
pouring
didn't.
over the tires? and
No,
stuff?
we did not. We left at the same time. Nobody had wheels or nothing. That whoever told you that is lying, and I'm just gonna say it like this: whoever told you who said that, most likely is probably white, and I know it is.
Here we go. Here's the race card.
Be the first time Camille has claimed being prejudiced against while being accused of a crime.
Pull up the receipts. Here we go.
For the day of the crash, Camille held several speeding tickets in her records, even though she was just 19 years old.
Wow.
The first ticket listed she was traveling 50 miles an hour in a 30-mile...
We're right here. This channel, MN, they got it. Right here. Shout out to MN. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Because they're pulling all her priors, just like I talked about earlier. And it's a paper trail of a pattern of behavior and actions.
Zone, 20 miles over the speed limit. Her second speeding charge was for going 58 miles in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, 13 miles over the speed limit. However, the ticket details that she was very argumentative with the officer in this situation.
As she is here.
Shares that she argued she was pulled over due to her loud music and her being black, then claimed she was traveling that speed on a hill. And then when the officer handed her the ticket, she crumpled it up and tossed it into the passenger seat of her vehicle. Her third ticket was listed as duty to drive with due care speed, where no specific speed data is cited. More details on more of her tickets will be covered shortly.
And then, what is she, 19 years old? Wow. This right here, the argumentative, the 3-4 tickets we saw, the notes that were attached to it, the behavior she did when she got pulled over. This is a person that needs, I can already tell you that has a very traumatic past growing up. And it's all accumulating at 19 into this moment here.
We're not racing. No, none of that.
You weren't racing at all?
No, I told him, for a simple fact, I'm going to tell you just like this. For a simple fact, we are black. It is a nice day outside. I know that the police are out. We see the state troopers out. We were not going for it. I said, we're going to just go the speed limit up here. He said, okay. His car has more horsepower than mine does. So obviously it's going to sound like it because I know how the engine sounds. And I'm going to spit fat. My car is slow. But I was in front. So he knows I was in front.
Okay.
Obviously, I want to be in front. because he's gonna follow my lead. We were not going fast. She gassed on it. When I mean she gassed on it, she didn't see him because he was behind me. My car was up there, but I moved it up here because it was rolling back and it was still in drive. I don't want to mess up my transmission. She gassed on it to try to beat him.
Okay, so I appreciate you telling me all that type of stuff. So, like I said, our process is this, okay?
Please don't do that.
So,
I'm already black and it already looks
okay,
bad
it
enough.
has nothing to do with race, man. We have 2 people that are dead right now caused by an accident.
Because she gassed on it.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with me and my brother.
Okay,
We were not speeding. What do you not understand?
You know what the speed limit is? Right now?
Yes, it's 55. You were going 60.
Okay.
It's not my problem that she wanted to be a dumb bitch and try to beat us. That's not my problem. You placing me under arrest for something that we did not do. We have digital dashes, bro.
Hey, we're gonna get all that.
We have digital dashes.
So
So therefore, we were going 60.
All this right here, save it for the judge, save it for the court. Just you're talking to a public defender like that. He's just there to get the facts, weed it out a little bit. But you doing all this is not helping you or him. All this could have been done at the police station, calmly. Here we go.
You don't have to yell at me.
I have to because you don't understand.
Okay, so here's what is gonna happen.
No, I'm not. You're not placing me under arrest
You're
or
under
anything.
arrest. Okay, sorry.
Yes. Baby, I love you.
To me, that was the best part. You're not putting me under arrest or anything. Okay, put her under arrest. Boom. And then, I love you guys. She's so weak. This person is so weak. You're not putting me under arrest. And that made my day. Seeing her getting handcuffs made my day. Shut her up. Can you put a gag in her mouth? She talks too much.
Stay there.
Let's stop, please, baby.
You're gonna be in handcuffs in a minute if you don't stay over there.
Please, baby, I love you guys.
And she's 19 years old and she's so vocal. You know, it's a lot of like the dichotomy of her being so vocal and yelling and screaming and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure as a kid, she was told to shut up, told to be quiet, make too much noise. As an adult, she's just exacerbating all those things that she couldn't do as a child. But on top of the trauma she probably dealt with. And I don't feel sorry for her. I just don't. Book 'em, boys. You know, I wish I was a detective. I'll just show up on site in my suit and my assistants. Look around. Book 'em, boys. That's what I would say. Because if I was here, I would look at her, pull out her priors. What happened? They both were speeding, caused those 2 people to pass away. Book 'em, boys. And I'll tell the judge, this is what happened. Life in prison. A life for a life. What do you think about that? 19 years old is so young, though. But she's an adult.
I love all you guys.
Let's go put on that paper.
I love you, Mom. Yep. Yeah. And yes, they did use force, and I was not resisting.
So, miss, what we'll do is we'll take a statement from you and everything you said
Can you take the other keys, please?
when we get back to our station, okay?
Love you guys.
Can you, Jay, not have it?
I don't have anything.
I know, I gotta make sure, though.
It's not in my ass. I didn't got the drawers off.
Listen,
I didn't got no f***ing drawers off.
While both Leon and Camille were arrested that day, they were both released shortly after pending charges. However, prosecutors did charge and arrested the driver of the white vehicle that made contact in the crash, Leon Bond III, who faced charges 6 months later.
The in-depth coverage you've seen so far has been made possible because of the support of our sponsors like Morgan & Morgan. We've brought you a mind-boggling video of crashes.
Shout out to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring. All right. Let's go back to the drama. All right, this is where it gets interesting. Largest injury law firm, whoa.
Men crime, or find the link in the description.
Leon was ultimately tried as a juvenile. This was despite the efforts to try him as an adult,
He should have been tried as an adult. Camille and Leon were released pending charges, of course. You go to the police station, you give your little statements, all right, they'll let you out. Prosecutors charged and arrested Leon 6 months later. Damn, 6 months later. Prosecutors, And I wonder, then I don't think Leon had to go to the police station. They probably just went and talked to him at the hospital. Maybe. Prosecutors charged and arrested Leon 6 months later. Leon was tried as a juvenile.
A delinquency petition and a petition for adult verification, both of which were denied. Because he was tried as a juvenile, the details surrounding his case are not readily available or public.
Right there. Okay. So here's my gig. If you wanted to have this guy in the white car, I believe, that caused the accident in the red car, Leon, if you wanted to try him as an adult, there's certain things you need. We need all his problems as a juvenile, tickets, run-ins with the law, detentions, teachers, character witnesses, things of that nature. Then you see how far he is from turning into an adult. If he's 6 months out from being an adult, 5 months out from being an adult, and you got this whole criminal rap sheet, oh baby, I can already tell you, based on a pattern of behavior, that he's going to be an issue as an adult. So, but right here when it says details of Leon's case are not easily assembled, if he has a probation officer, that's a red flag right there. And the probation officer would need to show, you would think, all the information prior to him, from high school, tickets, everything. But I think what happens sometimes is that the juvenile and the parents and maybe the probation officer are like, look, listen, it's not looking too good, but you give me a little bit of money and I'll leave some stuff out so the judge and the court doesn't see it. I'll leave some things out. And I think that happens a lot of the time. So I'm not saying that's what happened in this case. I'm allowed to have my opinions, but, wouldn't be surprised. Here we go.
We do know some things, which includes a peek into Leon's school history with fights. One appellate case reveals that Leon's mother legally went after a school official when he attempted to prevent a fight that involved Leon, his two sisters, and another student. The case accuses the school official of dislocating Leon's arm while attempting to prevent the fight. This case was ultimately denied by the court due to there being a lack of willful or malicious wrong in the school official's actions. While Leon's case was being determined, Camille was also charged 6 months after the crash with charges surrounding her direct involvement by drag racing. During that 6-month period before her arrest, Camille got pulled over and charged for driving on a revoked license. The license was revoked due to her failing to address her 3 previous speeding charges. She then got another speeding ticket that listed her going 59 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone, 24 miles over the speed limit. In that pullover, she stated she was going downhill as the reason she was traveling so fast. In October of 2021, she was issued an arrest warrant and faced 2 counts of third-degree murder, 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide, 1 count of criminal vehicular operation resulting in great bodily harm, and 1 count of careless driving. The warrant she was issued revealed more details surrounding the incident, including a deeper look into post-event interviews and forensic research. The report detailed surveillance footage that shows the intersection they started the race at. Witness testimony shares that the 2 exchanged a conversation here, pertaining to whose car could accelerate faster. After that alleged conversation, the 2 cars take off well ahead of the other vehicles surrounding them. Another surveillance camera captures the impact. Moments before, you can see just how long it takes for this uninvolved vehicle to enter the right side of the frame and pass the area where the crash happens. When Camille and Leon's vehicles zoom by moments later, it takes roughly half the time. A crash reconstruction report reveals data obtained by the airbag control module in Leon's vehicle. The report indicated Leon and his sister Camille, who was traveling alongside him, were going 114 miles per hour just 5 seconds before the crash, 64 miles over the posted 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Court documents also indicated Leon and Camille were over 3 football fields away when Dalton and Taylor started to take the turn. They traveled roughly 3/4 of a mile after taking off from the intersection before crashing. Her and her brother's vehicle were traveling between 93 and 106 miles an hour before Leon's vehicle struck Dalton and Taylor. The day after her arrest on October 29, 2021, Camille posted a $75,000 non-cash bond, which came with conditions that notably did not exclude her driving privileges, allowing her to drive despite the seriousness behind her case. 2 months after her release on bond, court records indicate she got in a car accident where she claimed another driver was at fault. She issued a small claims case to the court for the other individual to pay a sum greater than $4,500. In the following year, she won this court case due to the other party not showing up. She was given yet another speeding ticket in May of 2022. This time, she was caught going 83 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone, 23 miles over the speed limit. In this pullover, the ticket cites that Camille was unaware of the speed limit, cried, and explained to the officer that she had a bad experience with law enforcement before and was afraid of cops. State records allegedly showed her car's registration was expired despite the stickers on her car displaying she was up to date. In January of 2023, 3 months shy of 2 years after the car crash, news reports indicate that Camille's brother Leon pled guilty to 2 counts of third-degree murder. He was sentenced to 25 years of prison that same month. Because inmates only have to serve 2/3 of their sentence before transferring to probation, this means he should be out of jail in 16 years and 8 months, or in September of 2039, when he is 36 years old.
What a life. What a life. You spent a majority of your life in prison. That Bond family, what is going on? What is going on? There needs to be an investigation on the upbringing of these children over there. Leon pled guilty to 2, and guilty 2 counts of third-degree murder. He pled guilty. He should have got, that to me is, and we can disagree and agree in the comments, but you were speeding, you caused 2 people to pass away, all right? You're probably egged on by that yapping mouth lady over there with the white shirt. You were egged on by her to, let's race, what it seemed like. According to the video footage, when y'all both sped off at the same time, I just saw the video, and then I saw the other video where y'all were going really fast. And she said, we weren't racing. Remember, we weren't racing. We were speeding. Lie. Pled guilty to 2 counts of third-degree murder. So at least he pled guilty to that. Right? And he was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Typically, Leon would be eligible for probation in 16 years and 8 months. Which would be September of 2039. And to me, for him to kill 2 people and get 25 years, he got away with murder, if that's what you want to call it, manslaughter. We can talk about it. There was no motive. He didn't go out to end these people's lives. I understand that. That accidents do happen. I understand that too. But given his priors that we've seen, and he's only going to get 25 years, come on.
However, rules apply differently for juvenile cases. Here
we go. Hold on. See that? Him holding all that money? I wouldn't be surprised if he gave some of that money to the probation officer that then didn't show all the documentation to the judge and the court, that then would still allow him to be tried as a juvenile, because if all the documentation was shown, I believe without a shadow of a doubt, he would have been charged as an adult. These are just my opinions. God forbid you have an opinion on YouTube.
On what appears to be Leon's Facebook page, posted in September of 2023, where he seems to be under house arrest. He proudly holds what looks to be $1,000 in cash with a smile on his face. Because Leon was being tried as a juvenile, he was put on probation until the age of 21, with a stayed sentence of 25 years in prison. As long as Leon doesn't break probation by age 21, his sentence will be considered served. In mid-2024, Leon turned 21 and successfully completed his probation. His sentence for murdering Dalton and Taylor is considered served. His sister, who operated the other racing vehicle, Camille Dennis Bond, faced a slew of charges as an adult for her involvement, making her case in...
I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for this one right here. I'm ready for this one. Here we go. Camille Dennis Bond faced a slew of charges as an adult for her involvement, making her case information more readily available because she's an adult. We can have all the receipts on her. She doesn't have a probation officer as a minor to hide for her.
More readily available. Through court deliberations, Camille's defense team would not only argue that she was not at fault due to her not being in the vehicle that struck Taylor and Dalton, but would go as far as to say Dalton should have yielded before the turn, and even suggested Dalton was at fault for the crash. In this section of the video, we will cover the surprising court deliberations that brought the case to its conclusion. In court...
So then she's blaming her and her... Deny. So I can already see you got these two kids, the ones that passed away, heading Easter Sunday, and then they got hit by speeding people because we see the video of them speeding, and you're gonna say, well, they should have yielded. They should have yielded to us speeding. That's not how it works. That's not the rules of the road. You abide by the speed limit. You didn't, and your accidents were caused. You're almost guilty by association at that point.
Factors were brought to light through witness and expert testimonies. While there are some notable instances of witnesses ascribing the scene to being horrific and the worst thing they have ever experienced, some more frustrating revelations deemed that Camille and her brother Leon were not only reckless with their actions, but continued to be reckless after bystanders had told them to slow down prior to the crash. Court testimony details that a bystander noticed descriptions of Camille's and Leon's vehicles traveling at a high rate of speed past her house in a residential neighborhood. This frustrated the witness as it was Easter Sunday, and there were children outside. This witness noticed that the pair parked down the street from her residence, so she decided to walk down to the cars to tell them to slow down. This witness's testimony matched the descriptions of Camille, her passenger friend Lynn, and the description of the vehicles Camille and her brother were driving. After the neighbor had spoke to them directly about slowing down, she claims the cars then sped past her on the road as she was walking back to her home, which was an inferred attempt at retaliation. This neighbor then tried calling 911 at 10:28 over their reckless behavior, roughly 4 minutes before the crash happened. Unfortunately, it appears the call didn't connect, and the neighbor decided to let it go, seeing as she only had a partial license plate to work with. A couple days later, when she saw a news article involving the vehicles, she claims to have recognized the plate based off the partial she had, causing her to call the authorities to inform them of the racing activity she saw the pair engaged in earlier that morning. If that wasn't jarring enough, the prosecuting attorney also called up Lynn, the passenger in Camille's car, and revealed Camille and Leon's lack of remorse over the whole situation. Lynn claims that she was best friends with Camille, but ceased the relationship over the morality of the situation. Lynn supported the neighbor's claim that Camille and Leon were not driving safe in the neighborhood, and confirmed that the neighbor had spoken to both Camille and Leon. She also shared that, in the moments before the pair sped off at the intersection, Camille and Leon exchanged a conversation through their car windows over who could accelerate faster. Camille, in past interrogations, claimed that this was true, though she informed her brother not to go faster than 55 miles an hour so that they wouldn't be pulled over. Lynn's testimony contradicted that claim, citing the pair never talked about speed limits. During her testimony, Lynn admitted she was scared during her 911 call because she had realized the car Camille was driving could have just as easily impacted Dalton and Taylor's vehicle. She shared that Camille was largely concerned about the damage to the car and the condition of her siblings, but that nobody went to the red car and that Camille was unremorseful. Lynn also detailed that at a time after the crash during a birthday party, Camille and Leon, among other family members, held a conversation blaming the red car for the accident despite their excessive speeds. She further shares that the Bond family seemed to only care about their own family being injured and held no empathy or sadness for Dalton or Taylor's passing. Lynn also cited that she stopped being friends with Camille after the birthday party because she felt sad, traumatized, and remorseful, while Camille felt differently. Other witnesses appeared on the...
You know what? This witness right here, Camille's friend, pieced it all together. pieced it all together. The lack of remorse, the lies, the witness before the even accident happened. They're just running around this town like they own it, speeding, then blaming others for not slowing down for them.
To share their opinions of Camille and Leon's driving, one witness shared they told others after witnessing their speeds that they're going to kill somebody moments before the crash. Other witnesses added more claims to Camille's words on scene, including the f***ing better be dead or I'll find her and kill her.
She did say that.
You
She
stupid
did say
dumb
that.
ass effing white. Others sharing, in all the years I've been driving, I've never seen anybody.
And I don't even think the woman was white. She had a Hispanic last name. Her name was Garza. That's the Latin last name, Garza. So it's like she's our. God. This woman is trouble.
Seen two cars drive like that before, and that witnesses found it jarring. Camille didn't attempt to help her injured sister, but was able to maintain threatening two fatal crash victims. The defense's argument that Dalton and Taylor's vehicle should have yielded brought frustrations to witnesses taking the stand. One individual having what appears to be a heated back and forth over the perceived ridiculousness of his argument. One professional opinion on the stand debunked the defense's right-of-way argument, citing that statutorily, the right-of-way vehicle loses that claim if they are speeding, and in this case, the vehicles were estimated to be traveling over twice the speed limit. That same professional opinion cited data that showed if the two vehicles were not drag racing and were traveling the speed limit, Dalton and Taylor would have easily cleared the intersection without contact. A jury court would unanimously convict her on all of her charges. In closing statements prior to determine
unanimously convict her on 6 charges. Closing statements prior to determining criminal sentences. The countless contributions from the community shared how the case.
Camille's sentencing, countless contributions from the community shared how the case, and particularly the loss of Dalton and Taylor, impacted their lives. Taylor's father shared that he'll never forget the scream his wife, Taylor's mother, let out the day 2 police officers came to their home to inform them of their daughter's death. He shares that the sound still haunts him to that day. Dalton's older brother Dylan, a pastor, shared that if Camille's family remained blind to her guilt, that she would remain guilty on the day of her judgment, and God would strike her down for the murderer
that I love this. The father said, if the bonds, which is, the boy and the girl, because they were brother and sister, if the Bonds family remained blind to Camille's guilt, she will remain guilty on the day of judgment, and God will strike her down for the murderer she is. That right there is like let go and let God. But it's true. The Bonds family still remain blind to Camille's guilt. That Camille's like, they should have slowed down. They should have yielded. It's their fault. She will remain guilty on the day of judgment, and that God, your whole court was held and said you were at fault, and you're still denying it.
Friends of the family shared frustrations with Leon's light sentence, sharing that they hated the court system for giving him such an easy break. They also shared that rules do not apply to Camille and that she will kill again. They referenced Camille's lack of remorse, pointing out that Camille turned to her mom, laughing and playing on her phone like it was any other day during breaks in court testimony. Documents revealed that the victim's family had just held a funeral the day prior for Dalton's grandfather. One cousin noted that the last photo they all took together as a family was that day. Veronica, Dalton's mom, pointed out frustrations with Camille's lack of remorse and her continued speeding infractions after the fact. Dalton's father, Jim, highlighted Camille and Leon's previous school fights, along with their alleged fist fight that broke out when they got in an accident with another driver. He also cited her claims of racial prejudice against her to be nothing of the sort when it came to Dalton and Taylor, sharing the pair had gone to Minneapolis in support of George Floyd, that Taylor had continually engaged in Native American culture and reservation programs, and that his son Dalton was involved in a mostly Hmong and Hispanic car club. He also highlights an alleged social media conversation Camille had where she mentioned going drag racing again only 45 days after the crash. Jim also cited numerous individuals who shared stories of Dalton's acceptance and openness to other people. He also mentioned that, shortly after the incident, he and Veronica had discussed a hypothetical scenario. Their scenario involved Camille and Leon's mom, Crystal, coming to their house, apologizing and begging for forgiveness. In this case, Jim claims Veronica would have gave her a hug, invited her into the house for coffee, and discussed the nightmare as mothers, one to another. They purposefully told the court to keep communications open between them and all individuals involved, in case this scenario came to a reality. A year after the incident, once Jim and Veronica saw their hypothetical scenario would never come to existence, they closed communication through the court system. In contrast, when Camille and Leon's mother Crystal took the stand, she denounced the notion that her children should be called murderers, citing a Webster's dictionary definition that mentioned premeditation, even though they were being tried for third-degree murder. She also claimed she feared Camille was going to become the next George Floyd, and said Veronica had, quote, verbally assaulted her for calling her a bad mother a year after the incident. When it came time for sentencing, the judge first cited his reasoning. He shared that, in my 40 years of being involved in the legal business in various aspects, I've never been involved in a case that's affected and impacted so many different people in so many different ways. He also pointed out frustrations that Leon was tried as a juvenile and wouldn't spend a day in prison as long as he abides by his probation conditions. Before sharing the sentencing, he told Camille directly, I think you're in deep denial about what exactly your role played in this event. For her third-degree murder charges, she was sentenced with 150 months for one.
Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. Okay. 150 months of prison for one count of third-degree murder. Okay, here we go.
180 months for the other, which would be served concurrently with her sentence for criminal vehicular operation resulting in serious bodily harm, which amounted to 38 months. For the rest of her convictions, a sentence was not pronounced. Because all of her sentences run concurrently with each other, her total sentence is 180 months, or 15 years. In Minnesota, inmates must serve 2/3 of their total sentence, making her eligible for probation after 10 years. She was also permitted 107 days of jail credit. Her court fees were waived, but she was ordered to pay Dalton's mother nearly $30,000 in restitution, which would be deducted from prison wages and from pay she obtains while on probation. Using this information, having been sentenced in March of 2023, she will likely get out of prison at the tail end of the year in 2032.
Woo! 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 30. Like what, 7, 8 years in prison? It's still. I'm glad she's kept in there for at least that long, but she should be kept in there longer, especially all the videos that we've seen today.
Is 30 years old. After her sentencing,
30 years old. She's gonna. What life is that? What life is that? You just missed out on all your 20s.
Camille submitted her case into the Court of Appeals to be retried. Her appellate case was effectively denied by the
She wanted an appeal? Oh, I'm glad it got denied.
courts, sealing her sentence. While the records we obtained from the state pertained directly from Camille's involvement in the case, we were able to secure an interview with Dalton's mom, Veronica, to get more details surrounding Leon's case, and exactly how and why he was let off the hook so easily after being convicted for double murder.
Through those transcripts and through the body cam footage, it's wild to me that this case was not taken as seriously as it seems like it should have been.
You know, we don't wish a family to go through this. I mean, in the beginning, we just sat back. I mean, we trusted those that we felt were looking out for Dalton and Taylor's best interest. The further we got along in the process, the more holes I kept finding. Attitudes, amount of remorse, accountability. If that would have come into
Placing the blame on other people.
we would understand, we'd be better. But because it didn't, and because the way the laws are set up right now, that these children are protected. A double murder charge in the Dakota County, they'd never had one before. We were going to be the first juvenile case to go to trial because Leon was innocent, Camille was innocent, Dalton pulled out in front of them. I mean, you read the transcripts. He turned 21. At that time, he's free and clear. It's like it never happened. I bet you I did 75 open records requests. I fought hard, and not so much on Camille's situation. I mean, you know, because hers was adult. It was fighting
the juvenile side, strangely enough, they did make 4 changes to their juvenile certification process. The juvenile side, they say that this case will haunt them for the rest of their lives. That Leon was not certified as an adult. I found out there are 87 counties in Minnesota. There are 87 ways to certify a juvenile. County by county, not even Washington, Dakota, Scott, Carver, none of them go through the certification process for a juvenile the same way.
The county that handled this case, Dakota County, certifies juveniles through a psychological and criminal record report, which then goes through an evaluation process involving multiple parties. To qualify for certification, the accused must be 14 years old, and in this case, Leon was 17 and 9 months old at the time of the crash. Secondly, the crime needs to be a felony, and this case certainly qualifies as one of the worst felony charges a person can obtain, and Leon got 2 of them. In most cases where a juvenile who is 16 or older...
I remember when I was 16 years old and I was able to drive around. It was scary. My parents were like, I went through driving school. I went to driving school through my high school to be able to get my license because my parents were like, it's too nerve-wracking to sit in the car with someone who don't know how to drive. And they're like, we're going to do it the right way. We're going to put you to driving school. And I remember being in driving school and how scary it was driving around. I didn't want to make any mistakes. And what scared me the most is when the teacher was like, you could be the perfect driver. It could be somebody else who comes and hits you. I was so scared about that. I'm looking at these receipts. So he was 17 years old and 9 months. 18. He's 18. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 4, 5 months. He would have been an adult at 18 years old. He's so close to being an adult that I feel like, this is why I feel like he should have been tried as an adult. This is where we're going to agree to disagree, and I can't believe you said that, all that stuff like that. But let me tell you why I feel that way. Because he's just a couple months shy from being 18 years old. But when you pull up all the priors, all the drama, all the fights, all the trouble in school, all the tickets and stuff like that, it's like, you're acting grown up in these tickets and in these claims. And you're just a few months shy. They should have tried him as an adult. I wouldn't be surprised. I got to see the judge on this one because every judge is different. If this judge was, let's say, 1 foot out the door, about to retire, I don't care less, throw these people a bone, who knows, right? Then I can see that happening. The judge didn't get all the information. I can see that happening too. 100%. Withholding information. And not only that, but if you really want to go there, even the probation officer could be questioned too and get some probation themselves or lose their job if there was some under the table stuff going on.
Tried for particularly violent offenses like this case, there is a presumption of certification, which means the juvenile is assumed to be tried as an adult. That is, unless they can specifically prove they would be rehabilitated through the juvenile system. This process for proof of rehabilitation in this case required a parole officer to organize a report, referred to as a certification study. Additionally, a psychologist conducts a psychological evaluation. This report often includes the seriousness of the crime, indications of mental health issues, their prior record, and their likelihood of rehabilitation in the juvenile system. These reports are then reviewed by the Extended Juvenile Jurisdiction Panel, or the EJJ panel for short. In this case, the 7-person panel then votes on if the accused should be tried as an adult or not. In Leon's case, Veronica made a startling discovery through her own investigation.
Get ready, because I have a lot. When I saw that star pull up, I have a lot to say about that.
Leon was on probation at the time that he murdered Dalton and Taylor.
Wow.
His probation officer was the intake probation officer for this certification process.
Leon was already on probation at the time of the crash. Reports indicate this was likely due to his violent behavior in high school. What made this a troubling situation was the extended history the probation officer had with Leon. These prior efforts to push for rehabilitation could influence the probation officer to unjustly suggest a favorable outcome for Leon due to their personal attachment to the case. Unfortunately, it seems that's exactly what happened.
His current probation officer was the one that supplied all the information to the 7-panel EJJ members, and she left out all of his high school history. She only went up till 8th grade.
And that, of course, influenced that panel.
And the judge.
Additionally, news reports indicate that the same probation officer was also one of the 7 members on the EJJ panel to vote for or against Leon's adult certification.
And it was a 4-3 vote, Harrison. 4 said juvenile, 3 said adult.
In this case, that probation officer was one of the votes to not certify Leon as an adult.
So
right there. So if this is my opinion, if the probation officer is paid off and then has enough money to do a little kickback to this person over here, then they're like, we're going to win this case because I can just pay these people off to vote, no, he's not an adult. Well, these people over here don't know about it, or maybe they do. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. This person here should not have been in the mix. The EJJ panel, in my opinion, should be people who are not involved or have a personal connection or is a probation officer to somebody that they're talking about, because it can sway judgment. That's all.
With him being 80 days shy of 18, with a history, on probation for the 3rd time, 2 of them being assault charges.
Again, he's already on probation. You're already on probation and you get into a wreck and kill 2 people and you still get off. It's a lot. These are troubled kids.
That's a conflict of interest. And then they would come back and say, well, but the current PO is going to have the most history with that juvenile. Okay, but then that probation officer needs to give everybody the same information. The state forensic psychologist had everything, had all of his history from all the way through high school. The 7-member panel did not. So one of the changes that was made was all reports given have to be the same.
But you can't. That shouldn't. I don't mean to undermine her, but like, you would think that would already be a rule. That now that because of this case, changes are being made in the court system, that certification study reports have to contain all information. You would think that would already be a no-brainer. Why is it taking this to be able to do that?
They can choose what members see what. The other one, the intake parole officer cannot be the juvenile's current probation officer.
Thank gosh.
The 3rd change was with restitution. The corrections department determined the amount of restitution. I had provided documentation showing, because Dalton, 22, didn't have life insurance, student loans, had a car payment. Restitution was approved upon at $29,000 and some change. It was whatever I submitted. Well, we got the documentation from the juvenile side, and it said, well, Leon is only responsible to pay $8,500. And I went, why? It's $29,000 and some change. They're both equally guilty. I would have thought it just would have been split in half. Dakota County Juvenile Corrections set their own dollar amount. Most counties would leave it up to the judge. He's been out. Camille's in jail. She doesn't have as good of an opportunity to pay this restitution as Leon does.
Yeah.
Well, they did change that now. It's no longer up to juvenile corrections. It is up to the judge. They got rid of the cap. They, in essence, had a cap of $8,500.
And keep in mind, like, these 3 changes that were made because of this horrible accident, it's by that state. So, like, for example, I'm in the state of Texas. It's totally different. Each state is different laws and regulations. And it's almost like they're just making rules up as they go along. And no one's reviewing these stuff before it happens. This doesn't make any sense. I feel bad for this woman.
The state forensic psychologist came back and said, yes, adult. There is not enough time to rehabilitate him. There is not. He for the severity of the crime, he cannot be rehabilitated. Or she didn't think. She submitted her report the day before the EJJ panel did. The EJJ panel knew that the state forensic psychologist had recommended adult. They never reconvened. They never got into a room, never came together and said, let's look at this now. Two people lost their lives. Right. This isn't a vandalism. Two people were murdered. Harrison, Dakota County Corrections does not like me. Does not, and I don't care. But they came back to me time and time again. I have it in writing. They were only required to do a summary.
See, here's my thing, right? Here's where I agree with a lot of things she said, and this is where I don't agree. At the end of the day, this was drag racing that ended two people's lives. I know that to be fact. I saw the video. At the end of the day, Camille was a liar, a 19-year-old liar. At the end of the day, this is why you can't throw the book at the brother and sister, is because there was no intention to go after these two kids and take their lives away. There was no intention to do that. There's no motive, or I'm going to get you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know this person or anything like that. They don't know them, right? But I do feel that a harsher punishment should have been made. That's just me. You did the crime, do the time. I just don't think it was enough time. All right? When I start looking at these people's backgrounds and their priors and the court documents and what they said to police officers and videos, but not even from the video from the day, it's other stuff from the past and arguing with police officers, all that adds up to me. I was like, this is a problematic person. This person needs more time. And this is why I'm not a judge. Who am I to judge? Who are you to judge? But if I was to judge, I would be a very stern judge. I would have loved to see Camille and the other guy get life in prison, but at the end of the day, you cannot do that to these people because it wasn't a motive to set out and do that. However, there was motive of very reckless driving, and then to lie under oath and lie. That's what really upsets me. Just get up there and tell the truth. Just be like, hey, you know what? I was young. I have a car. I was driving around fast. And I caused an accident. Yeah, we were racing. We're having a good time. And you know what? I effed up. You know what? I messed up. I would have respected them way more. And at the very least, they would have got this sentence. But this sentence that they both got, they should have gotten way more, based on the lies and manipulation, the track record, and things of that nature.
I said Dalton and Taylor deserved more than a summary. They lost their lives. You people need to fight for them and to make changes. So that is another change that Dakota County did make. Once they pulled together the state forensic psychologist, they reconvene as a team to discuss the results and why they came up with what they did. Now, again, I don't know how I follow that. I don't know how I track it. They put it on a piece of paper and they said, these are our new policies. Right. I did ask them also why they don't post that on their website. They said they're not required. Well, maybe if they would have done some of the stuff, they wouldn't have had where I was a thorn in their side for months. Judge Carter.
Here we go. Here we go. Now we're talking about judges now. Love them or hate them. Here we go. A lot plays into the judge too, guys. A lot plays into the judge. We're going to see if the judge is remorseful, if the judge is very stern, if the judge came from maybe a military background, police background, a scholar background, personality comes into play. if the judge is a new judge, if he's an experienced judge, is he's a senior judge, a veteran judge, 1 foot out the door, ready to retire type of judge. All that plays into a factor. I'm ready for this.
It was like the last thing he stamped on and he retired. And I get it, even if the EJJ
Here we go.
last thing he stamped on and he retired. And I get it, even if the EJJ panel would have said adult.
Hold on.
On some of the stuff, they wouldn't have had a me, you know, where I was a thorn in their side for months. Judge Carter, I mean, this was like the last thing he stamped on and he retired. And I get it, even if the EJJ panel would have said adult and the state forensic psychologist said adult, Carter could have said juvenile. And at the end of the day, it is up to him. But, you know, how could he have gone against 2? He did not take into consideration anything that state forensic psychologist did. He honestly, we think, Harrison, he made his decision before he even got all the details. That's how we feel.
What other changes are you hoping that the state will be making?
He did go down and spend 9 months in Red Wing. Well, 8 months.
Red Wing is the juvenile correctional facility that Leon was admitted to for rehabilitation.
I ended up getting a hold of Red Wing too, and I said, I want to know what type of a program you have in Red Wing to process or rehabilitate a juvenile versus somebody that's down there for theft or, you know, anything
And
that
you know
would
there's
end
not.
up at
You know it's
Red
the
Wing
same.
for. And that is the only facility in the state of Minnesota for these juveniles that commit these higher crimes that if they were an adult, it would be a prison sentence.
Hey, you know how I know? Because Minnesota, Minnesota is, and I'm not trying to pass judgment, but whatever. Minnesota is a state that people really just don't care about. It's a state, it's there, great people, hardworking people there, but it's just a state that's just like Minnesota. You know, it's kind of like that. It's not a Texas, it's not a Florida, it's not a New York, it's not a California. Those are the big states. I'll even throw in there Nevada. But Minnesota? It's like a sleepy state. You don't really think about that, you know. So then you now start thinking, I'm pretty sure Minnesota is a rich state in the terms of the size and the people. But when you start comparing it against Chicago and Texas and stuff like that, other states like that, Michigan, it's just like you just kind of forget about Minnesota. And so I feel like that their justice system and their juvenile system and the prison system is just not well funded enough. It's well funded, but not enough. And I'll say that to a lot of these states, a lot of them.
We really don't have a different program. And I said, so you're telling me Leon is down there getting the same classes as somebody is down there for theft. They don't have any extra programs that they provided to Leon.
And let me guess, some of these programs I would consider luxury programs.
Same counseling, everything. When I had gotten a hold of JSD and Hastings, I said, what does Leon's day-to-day look like? You know, he was taking
Oh my God, this woman is on it. She wants to know the EJJT. What does this person's day-to-day look like? What does Camille's day-to-day look like? I want to know. Oh my, I love her. This is somebody you just do not want to mess with. Do not want to mess with.
Finally did get his diploma, so because he was a super senior, he hadn't graduated yet, but he was getting religious classes. He was taking yoga classes, and I'm
luxury
sitting
classes.
Thinking, he murdered 2 people. He's over here in the Hastings JSD. He's getting yoga. I mean, there has to be something above and beyond. Juveniles are given a slap on the hand. Just because they're under the age of 18, that shouldn't give them a get-out-of-jail-free card.
It's not the fact that he's under the age of 18. It's so close to being 18. So close.
It does. If there is a situation where they can be rehabilitated, that needs to be done. But each case needs to be looked at. And when you're talking the murder of 2 people, it can't be the same. When we met with Keith, he agreed. He says, no, harder programs need to be given, longer probation. You know, he said, Veronica, once this law gets passed, we're going to name it the Dalton Taylor Law. 18, that can't be this magic number. He's an adult. I get it at the time. He was 80 days shy of being 18. He was arrested that day, but then
80 days shy of being 18. 80 days shy. 80 days shy of being 18. You have all these priors, all this. Two people lost their lives, and you're still not tried as an adult. Very interesting.
let go. Now in Wisconsin, which of course is where we live, just across the river, 17, you're automatically an adult. Now Minnesota is actually trying to raise it to 21.
Wow.
There were bills that went in this last time that none of them went through, but the authors were, one was Bobby Jones.
There's also some, I see cases trying to get pushed that you're not an adult until you're 25 years old. I'm old school. 18 years old, you're an adult. 18 years old, kick out the house. 18 years old, fend for yourself. 18 years old, go out there. I remember when I was around 16, 17, I think my mom had told me, she said, you know, this is the age that if you mess up, I'm getting emails coming in and everything. If you mess up, it can affect your whole entire rest of your life. You get a little felony here, you get a little misdemeanor here, it could prevent your whole entire, so be careful who you hang around with. That always stuck with me. I didn't understand it at that time, but that stuck with me. But all I'd say is some places they want to, they say you're not a true adult until you're 25 years old. People can argue that back and forth, things like that. I'm old school, 18 years old, you're an adult.
Champion, Camille's attorney, that said, you know, the age needs to be raised to 21, the brain fully doesn't develop until you're 25, then keep them in probation.
Yeah. And I say if you have good parents, you should be at least somewhat of a well-established human being. And a lot of the stuff you learn in kindergarten of like your manners and yes please and no please and thank you and not to hit people and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
Don't let them off when they're 21. You know, extend it. Yeah, get it, but make them accountable. You know, and going the opposite direction of what we're fighting for. And I emailed those editors of those laws. Not one of them got back in touch with me. Leon murdered 2 people and got basically 25 months. How can somebody that drives that recklessly end up getting the sentencing that he did? Taylor was like a daughter to us. So we lost 2. And it's something that they're worth fighting for. Somebody was going to die. Somebody was going to die that morning on that road by their hands. You know, the last time we had court with Leon was right before his birthday, and the level of entitlement from that family, you know, I was standing right there that could have given him an opportunity to say something to me, her an opportunity, and they just... Now, I had some words with them as well, and they weren't pleasant, but they were words that I had been wanting to say to them for... Oh, my God. I wish I could talk to her. I wish I could talk because I want to know what did you say to them? Like, what happened? Because a common thing that I've seen with my own eyes in this video is the lack of remorse from the other family. And the fact that she went up to them and said and had a few words with them, I would have loved to know what she said to them. Quite some time. And Tiana, the twin sister, looks right at Crystal, the mom, and said, Mom, she's nothing. Don't worry about it. She's nothing. And this is the twin sister they almost killed. And I just, you know, at that time it was like, yep, you guys took 2 beautiful, innocent lives and you could care less. If they would have taken ownership, fallen to their knees that day and apologized and said, yep, this is what we were doing, I mean, we'd be in a better place. Honestly, not even sure if they would have done that. They might not have even seen a day in jail. I believe at this time we can turn a page and not expect to hear anything. I hope and pray that Camille gets rehabilitated. The Bond family, I mean, those children have a history of anger. Even in high school, we had heard about it. I'm hoping and praying she can come out and be a better person and take the fact that she killed 2 people, she was found guilty, but she can still live her life.
Veronica also took
and then she walks around Camille like, I didn't do it. They should have yielded. Oh, that's what upsets me the most.
To speak about those who have helped her through the process.
Harrison, the Burnsville Police Department are nothing short of amazing.
At this point, we get into the thank yous and things like that.
I'm okay. the packet to the Dakota County Attorney's Office. It meant a lot. We had to have Dalton and Taylor's service at the high school. Over in the corner, out of my peripheral vision, I saw 4 officers. They came to Dalton and Taylor's service, and they just said that they needed to see them in a different light. These are 4 complete strangers. They were first responders, so they were there, and that meant the world to us. It just goes to show you.
So what I'm hearing, what I'm understanding is that you had the EMT team coming out, the first responders, to the funeral because they wanted to see the 2 people who passed away in a different light. They didn't have to do that. I think that's moving.
People. One of the EMTs, he broke down on the stand. He started to cry. And young, and he just, the tragedy of it all,
This is a very tough case.
It's not a very tough case. Because what happened is you had 2 people who were drag racing that killed 2 people's lives. They deserved to be in jail, and they did serve some time, but they deserve more time. It's not a hard case like that. And yes, one of them was a little bit of a juvenile, but 90 days shy of being an adult, that's an adult to me. In 90 days, he's going to go from a juvenile to an adult like that. Girl.
It's okay. I know. I'm with you. I'm sorry. It's okay.
I'm okay. But, yeah, so, they're worth fighting for.
Absolutely.
There's a foundation called Street Racing Kills out of California. There's been an article out there. I've been in touch with her. Dalton and Taylor are now on that website. She did reach out to me and asked if I would.
You guys, if you made this far in the video, just comment down below Dalton and Taylor. Just simply that. Both Forever 22, Dalton and Taylor.
The overseer of Street Racing Kills up in this area, and I told her I'd be more than happy to just try to fight this because
the reservation. Yep.
Yeah, that would be another one is the LUX XILWWJ because she was have them think twice about what they're doing, and of course then she's like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Well then of course I start bawling. I'm crying to a complete stranger on the phone. But it's maybe if somebody would have talked to Leon, and just said, if you keep driving the way you're driving, there's going to be consequences, and maybe Dalton and Taylor would still be here. So, we can what if ourselves forever for the rest of our lives. Any kind of awareness we can bring to this, Harrison. Like I said, I'm not done. I'm going to rattle cages until my last breath. I don't know if you have children, but
what is she gonna do? She said it. She said herself any type of awareness, and I hope that this video helps with that. But whenever she said, I'm not done rattling cages, then I'm thinking like, well, what else are you gonna do? I would like to see maybe a retrial for more time, but is that double jeopardy or something? I'm not sure, but we'll see how this goes. But justice was served, but we didn't get a full plate, but it was served. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you found value, please leave a comment. Share it with friends, and we will talk about it in the comments down below, and I'll be in there liking. If anyone's watching this video that doesn't want certain stuff showed, you can email me and I'll blur it out. No need to copyright strike or anything like that. We'll see how this goes, but I'm really excited to see what you guys have to say in the comments down below. This is Rich Lux with the hottest celebrity news and gossip on YouTube. Get out there and find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all that stuff out there. And I'll see you guys later. All right? Be safe.